Ben, do you like moons?
No, but I love rakers. That sounded wrong.
Then you are pervert, go to jail.
Hello, Dan. We've just literally started talking now. How are you?
I'm very well, Ben. How are you?
I'm great. We've just started talking. This is the first thing we've said to each other.
We have. We certainly haven't been talking for the last hour and 45, occasionally punctuated by we should probably start this commentary at some point.
When we should have been working.
Yeah, when we should have been working for the man. Ben, who is the man in this situation?
The man in this situation is a crazy space Hitler man who wants to gas the world, and he's French as well, which for all you Brexit heads out there, and I know a lot of you enjoy these videos and watch them often. There's that one guy who liked your Quatermass thing. What did he say? Something like, you're a lefty liberal pansy or whatever.
Yeah, there was a guy who commented on one of my Quatermass videos. It was a few months ago now, I think, and he basically just said something along the lines of, "This content is too high art for you lefty liberal snowflakes. You wouldn't appreciate the subtle nuance of 1965's Quatermass and the Pit. This glorious Hammer film is too radical for the left these days. The wokerati."
I didn't realise that the right wing must be so bored in the post-Trump world. They're so bored they're scouring YouTube videos of reviews of old Nigel Neal films to rant at anyone and everyone. Oh, God.
Oh, God. It made me laugh as well because a few months after that, I had another comment of a really, really nice guy who was just like, "I really like these. It's a shame they burnt all the BBC ones." And I was like, yeah, it was. And then he never responded again. No, I was going to say, my therapist always says to me, when I tell a story, here's a good idea to have a point. And unfortunately, the last bit where I was saying about the nice man didn't, so I'm going to row that back. And
I hope we get
Moonraker.
I hope we get lots of lovely comments on this about how great and how we sock it to the evil lefties.
And remember, fascists, smash that subscribe button and leave a Union Jack in the comments. We won't read everyone. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, Moonraker. James Bond, Roger Moore. And Ben, do you want to give a little bit of backstory on this when I hit play, and we'll roll through this? Because this wasn't really supposed to be the one that was supposed to be here, was it?
No, it wasn't. You're right. It was, as we'll have seen in the last video, if you are bothered to watch it, there was the end credits caption had a little James Bond will return. James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only. And that was going to be the next film on the old slate. And then this little sort of cult sort of student indie film came out. I think it was called something like Star War. That was the name of the film, Star War. And that came out, and that was I don't know if many people saw it. I think it got some good write-ups in art cinemas and things, and no one really paid any attention to it. But for some reason, Cubby Broccoli saw that, and he said, "Well, put him in space." And it's not like he went to space in the book. I mean, when I say it's not like he did, what I mean is he didn't go to space in the book. But fuck it, right? I mean, it was the
yeah. Why not?
Patrick McGee voice. It was the 1970s. It was a crazy, hazy time in British culture when everyone was basically just smoking draw all day and all night. And someone was looking at the wallpaper one day and they said, "I've got a fantastic idea. Let's have Bond fight Hitler in space." And everyone else stood up and just clapped and just applauded silently.
Right, well, we shall get this underway then, because it's a 2-hour film, and I've realised that we'll probably be here until the next day if we don't start soon.
Yeah.
So we are queued up on a black screen. Moonraker. We are going to click play in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Off it goes. Oh, there we go.
Second raw.
Great. This commentary's going to be brilliant now. I've probably made that joke before.
We're officially underway. And for anybody out there who is worried about us, we are now both in a good position to say that me and Ben are fully vaccinated against the death virus, at least in the sense we've both been jabbed at least once. So we're hopefully going to be able to meet up to do these commentaries again in the near future, which will be really nice.
You have to have two. I've only had one.
I know, I've only had one, but I'm having my next one in a week or so.
I'm half chubbed. Space. Now, I'll probably say this more than once during the course of events, but do you remember how the last film started off with a submarine being hijacked?
Yes, I do, and it was very grand.
And this film starts with a spaceship being hijacked.
Yeah! I mean, they did the sea, now they need to do the sky, so...
Pretty much, they just had a sort of laissez-faire attitude of, well, it worked once, why wouldn't it fucking work again? It's common sense.
Just do it again, mate.
Do it much more. Roger Moore.
Who put those secret compartments in that airplane?
No, they came with the ship, I think.
Oh, right. Oh, you buy one Moonraker, get two international super spies.
See, you can tell they're the baddies because they're dressed in all black and they have leather jackets on.
Yes, and when they went into the cockpit, it was dark, which implies mystery and nefariousness.
And they're French.
That would have melted that plane.
Another bit of backstory to this film. It was not shot at Pinewood. In fact, none of it was shot in England. At least I don't think a lot of it was. They shot this film in France. And they,
oh, really?
Not for artistic reasons, for good old tax reasons.
Yay! Tax evasion.
We don't want to pay. we don't want to pay so much tax in our studio. So let's fuck off to France where we don't have to pay as much, if very little, if any at all.
It's always been the British way.
Another film where,
and he is James Bond, and he's with a lady.
But you see what I mean? Like, it's the same beat of like M gets news of something horrible happening. He makes a double entendre, cut to Bond having sex with a lady. It's the same film.
It's literally the same thing.
Plot wise, it's pretty scary how beat for beat it is in terms of plot. Obviously, in terms of actual stuff that happens, it's very different. But in terms of the actual meat of the story, it's pretty similar. He's rocking a very Alan Partridge look with that blue blazer and that turtleneck thing going on.
Absolutely. And can I just say, it was really kind of the film studios to hire Tony Clifton to play this initial bad guy.
But wait, he's not going to be the main baddie in this sequence, as we're about to discover. Oh
no! I hope that he's got a parachute on him. Otherwise, James Bond's going to fall to his death.
Now this is insane. I read that they obviously shot all this free fall. There's some shots that are very dodgy, where it's like Roger Moore and Richard Kiel against a front projection screen, and there he is. Cue the music. But like these shots where it's obviously like a stunt guy, and I was reading that they did this 88 times.
Oh, bloody
hell. I mean, I guess you'd have to do it over and over again to get it exactly right, but man, look at that. That is a man actually flying.
Very impressive.
He's literally flying through the air. I mean, nowadays, I'm going to sound like a right old fart now, but I'm going to be one of those people who go, nowadays they do CGI and it'd be rubbish, which is kind of true. I can't see films doing actual like free-falling type stunts, not for an action film anyway, not where you can just do it all in 2 seconds on a soundstage.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's incredible.
It's very, very impressive. Although, that being said, it is almost beat for beat again, because if you remember in The Spy Who Loved Me, there's a bit where he has a parachute and he falls off a big thing and he's free falling for ages.
He fell off a cliff. He flew off a cliff in the last film. What can we do to top that? He literally flies out of a plane.
So, just to clarify then, and for your eyes only, does Bond meet God? Because that's the only way they can really one-up this film.
Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but for your eyes only isn't this. But Yeah, you know what? Dodgy close-ups aside, the child, the 7-year-old in me, I probably said this last time, will always believe that is actually Roger Moore flying through the air. Like, there's always a part of my brain that just can't not think that.
Yeah, no, it is very, very impressive. I think that's a testimony, though, to the joys of the editing of it. I think it's very, very well done in terms of how it's cut and what shots they use.
I'd love to edit together all the close-ups. Oh, he pulled his thing off. The dozy twat.
Can I also just say, I do love how understated Jaws' reappearance is. Like, this is the first time in a Bond film that a villain has reappeared outside of Blofeld.
I like it. Understated. He literally flies out of a plane onto a circus and makes the tent collapse. Right, and here's our opening number.
And then they freeze frame on his crotch.
Cut. That's what it said in the script. Cut to crotch.
Cut to Jaws' crotch. Crossfade from Jaws' crotch to Roger Moore looking worried.
Get Maurice Binder in to get his dirty old ladies and their dirty old silhouettes out. And they jump on trampolines this time.
Well, hey, they've got a smoke machine now as well.
Buzzing.
That's not actually a smoke machine. That's the entire set cast just lighting up after having to deal with that skydiving sequence.
So Shirley's back for the hat trick.
She is
doing the song again.
Moonraker.
The Moonraker knows. The Goldfinger. Diamonds are forever.
The diamonds are forever. Hey, big spender.
I love Daniel. I really do. I do love you, Daniel, but you don't have the range. So this film goes to space. So we get lots of images of space. That's that's what we say about this sequence. And look, she's flying through the air, and I think you can see her nipple. That is disgusting. Ban this filth.
You can. So I'm going to be honest. This intro is not as good as The Spy Who Loved Me, in my opinion, at least.
No, it probably looked really good. It looks very cheap and cheerful now, but yeah. But around this time, I think Maurice Binder, the guy who did the titles, I think he was getting a bit sort of like complacent around this time. Like, a lot of the titles are very samey around this period. It's not like. I'm trying to actually think what my best one would be from him. Ken Adam once again on production designer jams, and John Barry's back. He was back after being booted off the last one. I think he came back as well for other tax related reasons. This whole film is just a giant tax dodge.
They were like, well, we could follow the plan, or we could do Crazy Space Movie and write it off. Write it off.
And Christopher Wood again, and I think I said this last time as well, but Christopher Wood was known for scripting the Confessions films, which I'm sure you're a big fan of because you like bad things.
No. No. I'm not doing that again. No, I've watched them once before. That's enough for me. I'm done.
I quite like Confessions of a Pop Performer. That's about it, though.
A good litmus test for me as to whether I'm going to like a film or not is if it stars Robin Asquith. I usually swerve it.
That's my go-to. That's my radar there.
I do. Bad film pops up. I go, ooh, who's it starring? Robin Asquith? Lead role? No. Bin. Done. No.
It's weird, really, when you know that they didn't shoot this in Pinewood. I don't know, just all the studio stuff just has a weird ambience to it. There's Frederick Gray there, the minister, whose sole job in every single Bond film is to basically turn up and go, what? No, he can't possibly be evil, he's rich.
Look, he has a giant death missile. That must have cost £5 billion. He can't possibly be evil enough to use it. It's too expensive.
He's a Tory scumbag, that guy. That's what he is. A wealthy man can't possibly be evil. I say we arrest Bond immediately and let him do whatever he wants.
Send him to The Hague.
See, in case you didn't know...
I like the fact it's not top secret, it's most secret.
I was just about to say that, in case you didn't know. In case anyone was to somehow retrieve that secret film from MI5, which I imagine might have happened in real life espionage. But don't worry, because anyone who finds it will just know it's government because it has a this is a secret thing. Enjoy it while you can.
It just turns up in the Sun next week.
Film in most secret shocker. Actually, no, if it's the Sun, it'd be like a pun, so it'd be like something like, Dan, pun, go.
Moontaker.
That's pretty good.
Moontaker.
That's pretty good, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And now we get our gimmick for the film.
It's a watch that shoots squirty cheese.
I mean, the whole film's a gimmick, really, but this is the thing that's like, this is what we can make into toys. We need to sell some toys off the film, damn it.
We didn't sell enough tarot cards from Live and Let Die. We have to up our game.
Well, that's no good. I want it to cause death in 29 seconds.
I didn't tell you about the purple-tipped ones, Bond. These ones make you insatiably horny for 24 hours.
He doesn't need magic drugs for that. And here we are with our first Bond girl of the evening. First of many.
Lovely. Very much so. I like the fact that we're back in America again.
No, we're going to France, aren't we? Oh no, this first bit said America.
No, this is America.
Yeah,
California.
Yeah, they just say he brought a load of French stuff in so they can justify the fact that it's obviously filmed in France.
Yes.
Isn't there a line? There's a line coming up.
He imported 800 French people.
Yeah, and there's a line coming up about how he tried to send the Eiffel Tower over. I think he thought it was like SimCity, like you can just download the landmarks and then just drag and drop them into your evil villain estate.
Pretty much.
It's the title of the film.
I do like the fact they got... Oh, blimey. I do like the fact they got Joel Hodgson in to build the little models.
You keep dropping out there. Did you say something?
Yeah, I said it's a good... I like the fact they got Joel Hodgson in to do all the model shots.
For a film that has obviously a lot of money thrown at it, some of the effects are very cheap and cheerful.
Absolutely.
My word, it's a mansion.
It's trees. I haven't seen trees in years.
I haven't seen trees in about 4 minutes.
Oh, to be in England once more.
Where we know how to do proper English trees, not those dirty French ones.
Well, it's good that you got your Offender Nation out nice and early with that one.
That's not me. That's Brexit, Mr. Captain Brexit. I mean, James Bond. As he's
international superstar. Gammons love him. Gammons want to be him. Gammons.
Gammons want to sleep with him. Gammons want to be him. Gammon. That's a nice fucking gaff, that.
But Ben, if he imported all of these bricks stone by stone from France and had the complex built recently, why do all the stones look really weathered like they've been there for ages?
Because it's like I was saying earlier, it's like SimCity. He just clicked it and dragged it along. He's rich, he has the power to do that. He can apparently build a space city without any sort of knowledge from NASA or any other space agency in the world. He can pretty much do these, and as we see later, he also has the power of the TARDIS in terms of making rooms look bigger on the inside than they are out. But that's coming up.
I can tell you now, Ben, I can think of nothing more boring than an entire evening of somebody making me listen to them play the piano.
I mean, I'd at least want to have a go on the centrifuge thing later, even if he tries to kill Bond on it.
That'd be cool. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. I could get behind that.
I mean,
crank it up, Daddy-o. Let's see how fast this can go.
I will say this about Hugo Drax, our main baddie. He's an improvement on the villain in the last one, who I felt was a bit of a clone of Blofeld. What sets Drax apart, I think, is the performance from Michael Lonsdale, because he does get some cracking lines.
He does. He's definitely, like you say, a step up from the villain in The Spy Who Loved Me. That was the one thing that let The Spy Who Loved Me down, I think. If the villain had been a bit more grandiose, I'd have probably have loved it a lot more, but I think Drax does a more than serviceable job as a villain in this.
Well, it's like Michael Lonsdale, who, when I was reading, I only found out he died only last year. It's quite sad.
Really?
Yeah, September last year.
Very sad.
But I think it's because he just has this just right sort of tone, like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't ham it up. He's not like there's a. I think he has one moment at the end where he screams, but it's okay because it feels like it's earned. All for the rest of the film, he's just this very cool as a cucumber sandwich, kind of guy who just isn't fazed by Bond in any way, shape, or form. And I also love the fact as well that after this initial meeting, there's no pretense between the fact that he's the baddie. Like, remember the line at the end of the scene when he's like, "Look after Mr. Bond. See that some harm comes to him." Like, there's no pretense. He's just obviously evil, and he's not even going to try and hide it.
No, I do like that, and it plays quite nicely in later scenes. I'm thinking particularly the grouse shooting sequence, where they both know what's going on, but they both can't say anything.
It's almost like Looney Tunes in a way.
Quite nice kind of back and forth between the pair of them.
He also has this superpower to speed up film of dogs at will.
Yes, that's one of the other things I noticed about this film. There is a lot of speeding the footage up to make it look like they're travelling faster than they are. There's multiple scenes in here where the speed suddenly jumps 500% just because it needs to. Well, at least it look in any way interesting.
Well, at least they've sussed out how to film punches, unlike in the Connery era when they just film him putting his fist to someone and then just speed it up.
Yeah, that's I give him credit. I mean, so far at least. I mean, we've only got 2 more Roger Moore films left after this.
3.
Is it For Your Eyes Only an Octopussy? 3.
Yeah, we've got 3 left.
Yeah. So far, I've really really enjoyed this era. I think it's been
this is
very,
definitely
light-hearted.
This film is definitely the imperial phase of Bond's career. As the imperial period, as Neil Tennant would put it. This is just like the moment when it was just like at the apex of its, I don't know what you'd call it, grandiosity.
The top of its game.
Well, just in terms of like how grand it all is. And we get some classic misogyny from Captain Brexit now. A woman.
Ace.
So
you're female.
Yes.
Excellent.
And you're holding a clipboard. Yes. Who taught you how to do that?
Smart woman. Excellent.
Where did they teach you how to do this?
Well, I may not know much about NASA, but I can certainly show you how to fly rocket ships.
Well, now
I mean, it's not rocket science.
And now I'm going to have the James Bond superpower of knowing literally everything about everything, even though I've never stepped foot in a fucking rocket before, yet I somehow know exactly how they work.
Do you know who I am? I was in Thunderball. I saw a rocket get launched out of a volcano. Oh wait, that's You Only Live Twice.
Whatever. He's regenerated.
Whatever, I know rockets.
He's regenerated since then. Where would Bond find the time to read about...
I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
Well, where would Bond find the time to read about all this stuff? He never looks up on his mission briefs. I'd refuse to believe that. He's too busy having wild, sped-up sex.
Well, you've got to have something to pass the time post-shag, you know. Use that 15 minutes where you can't be asked to get up. Might as well do some rocket science while you're there.
Before Wikipedia, we fucked people for knowledge.
Yes.
I'd have a go on one of these.
I'd be tempted to have a go. I'd be very interested to see what G's I could tolerate.
Sorry?
I'd be very interested to know what G's I could tolerate.
Well, Dan, it's a good thing you said that because we've got one right here in your house.
Yeah! Brilliant. I can't wait to destroy my kitchen.
There's some very dodgy shots coming up of Roger's wrinkles trying to escape from his face in a moment.
Yeah, this was one of those signs where, I realise and appreciate that people do age, but this was one of those moments where it became quite apparent that the Roger Moore from Live and Let Die was a little bit further along than the Roger Moore we see here now.
If they wanted to get the next actor in, if they wanted to get Tim Dalton in at this point, they could have had it so in the centrifuge bit he's Roger Moore, but then when he comes out he's Tim Dalton.
Yes. He could even do a little quip about how he feels years younger. Who needs plastic surgeons when you have centrifuge?
Unfortunately, they deleted the scene where he turns into Popeye briefly.
So did they actually, this isn't like a set, they actually went somewhere where they do the centrifuge testing stuff, right?
I think they built this.
Really?
Yeah, I think this was a Ken Adam job. Although I don't think they ever actually put 90-year-old Roger Moore inside it and actually span it round properly. Like, those shots are very... I think there's some more of the dodgy front projection work that you'll see crop up quite often in this film. It becomes like the furniture.
It's just always there.
And it's quite sweet in a way that sorry, go on.
I was going to say, so when this thing hits 88 miles an hour, does he go back to 1963 or?
When this thing hits 88 miles an hour, my cock will explode.
And it wouldn't be the first time.
Oh no, the little dodgy switch isn't working.
Oh no, Bond's going to get all the blood pushed out of his nose.
He's regenerating. That's what Holly
Just focus on one thing. That's thing.
That's what the Bond girls see when he's on top of them.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And equally so, their button doesn't work anymore. He deactivated it.
Oh dear. It's quite sweet though that the last thing he thinks of before croaking it is Q.
Yes. That's quite charming.
Use the force, Bond. The what? The wrist gun. Use the bloody wrist gun. The thing I gave you. The thing that shoots the thing.
It would have been so nice if a bit later in the film he met up with Q again and he just went, I thought about you before I died. What, 007? Oh, I said, I wonder when he's going to finish those jam trousers bloody work shy.
I love you, Q. What? In that suit. I love you in that suit. Uh-oh. Who am I kidding? The boathouse was the time. Use the thing that shoots the thing. The sex darts? No, not the sex. You're dying and that's what you're thinking about? Well, wouldn't you? Obviously, in my version, they have a whole conversation that lasts for about half the film's runtime.
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, now that centrifuge machine is incredibly horny.
I've just thought if you couldn't have done that scene with Sean Connery. His toupee would have flown off. And then he would have
fallen out.
He would have had to quit the mission in shame. I can't possibly let anyone see me like this.
I like Bond's casual wear.
Yeah, sort of very, very slinky sort of the black, what are they, like pajamas?
I wonder, I could see this potentially being a good nightwear range.
Or a good head range. Because one of the characters is...
Yeah, that was another Bond name that just...
Holly Goodhead. Well,
Yeah.
It was the 70s, and it was a different time. You were allowed to have stupid fucking names back then.
Well, if I remember rightly, doesn't your family name originally go back to being the Jostlecocks?
Yes, Dan, that's exactly right. That's exactly what they were called.
You're from the family Jostlecock, and I was from the family Titty Minge.
Because apparently, according to you, I live in a Lewis Carroll book.
Yes.
So
don't we all, Ben? It is Old England.
After metaphors. Now he's going to sweet talk the goods out of her, and inadvertently lead to her horrible, horrible death.
Worth it, mate.
I mean, he didn't know that she was going to get, killed by doggies.
All I know is I had my fun, and that's all that matters. Good day.
I think we've said that about once per film. And we'll continue saying it
every film.
And we'll continue to say it.
Yeah. Even in the Daniel Craig era, it will probably not go amiss.
It's still apt. I don't know. Is this the thing where I know he's going to use a little sort of spy camera thing, and it's got his logo on it. I think,
yes.
Yeah. Which is, I know everyone's probably jokes about this, but I mean, the fact that even Q is branding it with the film's logo, they might as well stick a little price tag in the corner of the screen. Now
listen,
available.
004, this is your James Bond issue watch.
I say Q, a brand new 007 watch? Looks right at the camera. And where else can I get these wonderful products?
Right, Bond, it's simple. You look at the Argos catalogue.
It's called Toys R Us, Toys R Us, Toys R Us. That's how the song
Get yourself down to Wilkinson's.
Oh, yeah, he's got the little magic cigarette safe opening. I don't know how it works. He does a thing and it opens the thing. That's all you need to know.
He does a thing and it opens a thing.
That's how most scenes in this film
Is that
happen.
the official term for it?
In any scene in this film where Bond isn't flying around on rocket boats or shooting lasers or shagging women, he's opening locks. He does a lot of lock opening in this film. Maybe a bit too much.
I mean, in fairness, when he's having sex with the ladies, that is effectively lock opening. So
that is disgusting. Or maybe it's not. And I like. Oh yeah, there it is. It's got his little logo on. I mean, it'd be a real shame if some enemy agent or enemy organization was to say find that camera and locate his secret number, which is not secret because everyone knows it. Even Barmer.
No, Ben. You see, if the bad guys ever found it, they would simply turn it out and look at it, and it would say Lou, and they would think that a toilet company had been trying to steal their plans.
They look at it and it goes, don't worry, no one can ever possibly know. And it's got written on a handwritten note, property of James Bond, do not nick, smiley face.
Love, James Bond's mum.
It's like when you used to take a toy to school and bring a toy to school day. Write your name on it.
I had a tragedy on a take your toy to school day years ago, and it left.
Did you bring in the? I bet you brought in a really expensive shiny toy and it broke.
No, I bought in a load of shit and it got destroyed though. Basically, I had a stuffed Porky Pig toy. And I decided to take it in. It was like this proper sort of full-size Porky Pig thing. And I took it out into the playground, and at lunchtime, some kids literally ripped it in half. And I was very upset for the rest of the day.
I took my Game Boy in and it didn't get stolen. So I was quite pleased about that.
That's good.
I was quite pleased about that.
Especially for Manchester.
Yeah. Oh, man. He shot that toy bird, just like your Porky Pig. Is this how...
ripped in half. Traumatised.
Is this how your Porky Pig was destroyed? Like all the school kids lined up with the big hats and the cloaks and Paul.
It even had a bloke come out with a little bugle.
That was the headmaster on it.
It was. And he told me to grow up and told me that this was real life now.
Drax is always being surrounded by women who leave. Like every other scene is like, I'd like to introduce you to Madame blah, 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 and Madame blah, 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 ladies, and then the scene begins.
And then 20 minutes later, I'd like to introduce you to the Duchess of Cambridge and the Duchess of Hertfordshire. Good day. Scene begins. Bond, I'd like you to meet the Duchess of Sussex and the Duchess of Wessex. Ladies, scene begins.
Later on, when they're having the final showdown in the spaceship, when Bond's about to shoot him, Mr. Bond, I'd like to introduce you to two friends of mine. This is Princess Royal Anne, and they're there in like full royal gear on the spaceship.
Hello,
ladies. Dun, 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 dun.
In the very last scene, because he hasn't got anybody because he's in space, all he has to do is draw like faces on his hands. And he's like, I'd like you to meet the Duchess of Switzerland and the Queen of Brazil. Hello, ladies. And then he just sort of moves his hands down to his side.
It just keeps cutting to shots of Roger looking confused. It's always bothered me how the continuity in his hair doesn't match up there, because in the one shot his hair was sliding up and in the other one it's not. It's bollocks.
Yes.
Where was the continuity, girl?
Equally, I think it should be noted that Bond just killed a man.
Well, I mean,
and it wasn't really for part of a mission either.
I mean, that's kind of par of the course. I mean, that's sort of what Bond does. Yes, that's his job.
Well, no,
license to kill.
But like, yeah, but like Bond never normally just like shoots a person because.
Yeah, well, he did shoot him for a reason. The guy was about to snipe him.
Well, yeah, but then to play it off as gunman in trees, can't walk a mile without bloody seeing one.
But see, this is what I like. The fact that there's no sort of will they won't they about Hugo Drax. He's just so obviously just a bad un from shot one, scene one.
Hello, I'm the baddie.
This is a very surprisingly atmospheric, haunting bit for a film that's quite daft.
It is. It's very well shot as well. I'm really digging the nice tracking shots and the very soft background.
This film it's just a melting pot of stuff. Like we go from
There's just so much going on.
We go from comedy grouse shooting man in tree to a scene where a woman is killed by dogs, and it's not played for laughs or even dark laughs. It's just played very straight and very down the gun barrel.
And in about 10 minutes' time, isn't Bond going to be in, like, Rio?
Meanwhile, cut to Bond on...
fighting Jaws in an alleyway.
Cut to Bond on Rocket Boat.
I think every sequence should end with a pigeon doing a double take.
See, it's even got that really atmospheric transition with the bell tolling. And we're in Venice now.
Ooh, delightful.
Which he's been to before at the end of From Russia with Love, but they didn't actually film in Venice that time, so this counts as the first time.
He's solely here for the canal boats and the ice cream. That is it. He's not even here for the mission. He's literally, that is all he wants.
This was before Google Maps. You just found places by looking at pieces of paper in your pocket. Red light district. Just pulls a piece of paper out. Just says, Drax red light district. See, it must be Drax because there's an attractive woman there, and they seem to be around wherever Drax is. But then again, they seem to be around wherever Bond is too, so it kind of cancels each other out.
But you see, the thing to bear in mind, though, is it can't possibly be Drax because Drax didn't introduce her. So
if you said something, I didn't hear it. I think you dropped out again.
Oh, sorry. I said, obviously this can't be Drax, because if it was Drax, he would have been there in that glass shop to introduce her.
He would have been made of glass. Bottom exit. I know all about that. Well, it is Moonraker. You have to do the bad sex jokes. I don't know. Maybe some people might find this interesting, but I couldn't think of anything more boring than a tour of a glass museum. And this is a
this is a thing to break any glass.
They do later. And this is a cup made of.
Then I'm in favour of this.
And this is a cup made of glass. And this is another cup made of glass. People drink things with glasses.
Can we drink anything from the glass?
No drinking till the end of the tour. Now, this is a vase that is 5,000 years old, made by Colonel in the such and such wars. Lasers come down.
It's funny to imagine a world where glass doesn't exist. Foreshadowing. Do you see it? He walks in front of the big glass bowl that looks like a space helmet.
It's not really foreshadowing so much as they probably thought, oh, that looks quite cool.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a bad one.
Of course, this sequence has a guest cameo from the late, great George Burns, who you'll remember from the series Oh God, You Devil.
This is, of course, a popcorn classic.
5 bags, no question.
I like all this stuff.
Maybe chuck in a little pair of steel teeth.
And maybe chuck in a little bit of glass for the fight that Bond has later.
No, I'm 26.
That's quite good. That was a MST3K zinger there. I was quite impressed.
I'll take that. Thank you. That's very complimentary.
I've never been to Venice. Apparently, it's. I don't want to offend any Italians, but apparently it doesn't smell very nice because of the canals and everything.
Yeah, the all of the toilets and all of the sewage systems pump out into it.
Oh, lovely.
So it's quite a whiff. Yes. Also, it's sinking. And within the next 20 years, it probably won't exist.
So they're just having like a little conversation in this scene, and then you just slowly see them just descend as they're talking.
The water just, each time it cuts, the water's just a bit higher, a bit higher, a bit higher.
In between the shot, reverse shot, the water's just getting higher and higher every time.
Yeah.
Well,
as Tiny Tim's The Ice Caps Are Melting slowly fades in.
Well, Miss Goodhead, maybe we can get together and what the fuck is going on? Oh, yes. Apparently they lost a day of filming because one of the who was the Pope at that time? Whoever John Paul the First or the Second or whatever.
Yeah, it was John Paul the Second. I think it was
John Paul the McCartney. He died. Where was his God then, Dan? Didn't save him then.
Oh, and, it was Pope John Paul the First. Then, yeah, he was the one who got replaced by Paul the Second.
Well, you know what? If popes can die, then that proves there isn't a God. Because where was he then? But anyway,
exactly.
he died, and they couldn't film because there were bells ringing in Venice all day, like every day. All you heard was boom, boom, boom. That must have been such a pain in the ass.
Ben, don't rely on that too much because the Pope's clearly back alive if that casket's anything to go by. But Bond killed him, so it's okay.
Look out, it's Knife Pope. And
Knife Pope.
Here's the thing, right? They don't introduce beforehand that Bond's boat is like a magic boat. So there's no scene of Q going, now Bond, when you go to Venice, I've prepared a special surprise for you. Like they normally do that with the cars or the vehicles. And here it's just assumed that if he's in a boat, it's a magic boat.
Yes. Also, this is the 5th boat chase in the Roger Moore era, and I'm fed up of boat chases now.
Yeah, but they've not had a chase in a magic rocket gondola before, so that there's at least that.
Magic Rocket Gondola is the name of my ska punk band, then.
Every Roger Moore film has to have at least one cutaway shot of a man with either a fag or a bottle of whiskey going, look at that.
It hard cuts to J.W. Pepper on one of these bridges. Oh, golly gosh, can't wait. I got released from the prison. I'm going on a nice, relaxing break in Venice. Oh, boy.
Oh, man, you made it 40 minutes without referencing JW. It's a new record.
He will be in every film from now on. I love that's nice. That's funny.
It's the power of love, Dan. They don't realise they're so in love they don't realise they're about to drown in sewage.
Now, Ben, are you ready to lower your IQ about 56 points?
Are you talking about the greatest single edit in any film? Not just in any
From
Bond
this
film.
point on, From this moment on, the pizza theme from Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2 should start playing. Because that we've now officially just lost. We're gone. We're just.
Oh, there it is.
That man's got the right idea.
It's the same guy as well. It's the same actor from the last film. Fuck it. Fuck it, right?
Oh God! What?
The thing is, it's edited in such a way it doesn't look like a double take. It just looks like the film skipped.
Yeah, it did at first. I thought my Blu-ray was broken. It just
looked like. Fuck it. I mean, the funny thing is, right? Bond doesn't really have any reason to do that, does he? I mean, he could have just got out of the boat and walked off. There was no reason for him to put. Oh, look, he's cosplaying as Romana there. I see.
I'm keeping the hat for later.
Like, there was no reason for him to. They just wanted to do that scene again from Spy Who Loved Me, where he comes out of the car onto the beach.
Yes. What I particularly love about Blu-ray remastering is it allows me to supercut footage from this film into the works of Dario Argento. So Bond goes to Venice, but you can also sort of cross-cut it with Suspiria and have it look that he's investigating a coven of witches.
I mean, it's if you think about it, there's lots of scenes of mysterious women drifting in and out of rooms, so that could work quite well.
Also, really, really lame that they made the password the music from Close Encounters.
Fuck it, I can just picture them sat there in the editing room. We made a pigeon do a double take. Who gives a shit?
We are drunk with power now. It was this close from them putting E.T. in.
I bet they would have done.
E.T. didn't exist at this point. That's how drunk they were.
Well, that's the thing. They asked Spielberg. Well, I guess they had to ask Spielberg for permission to use the Close Encounters theme, and then they returned the favour because I think in the Goonies, I know Spielberg didn't direct that, but he produced it, didn't he? And there's the Bond themes in that at one point, and I think Spielberg contacted him saying, like, can I return the favour? And I think Broccoli quipped something. He said something like, yeah, well, the Bond theme has more than 5 notes.
Wow.
Obviously,
well, fairness,
he obviously let him have it. It was obviously a nice joke, but yeah. It is a little cheesy, and it does, if you know what it is, it definitely takes you out of the film when that Close Encounters theme comes in.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, but I believe here that they're manufacturing the T-virus.
They're manufacturing a poisonous gas that will put an end to all human and plant life forever. They also appear to be building the mechanoids, from what I can see there, which is not going to go very well for them.
No, especially considering that, Mechanus is a quite radioactive planet, and would be unsustainable on life on Earth.
This is really
simply because the
this and the Chase could really exist in the same universe, really, couldn't they? They're about on the same level of internal logic.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, did you see? I don't know if you have heard. Have you heard the Big Finish audio drama, The Juggernauts?
Yeah. If you said something, you dropped out again. Sorry.
Ah, blimey. Technical issues, ladies and gentlemen, today on the Comedy Dining Experience.
So you asked me if I'd seen The Juggernauts. I said yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's all right. I like the idea. I mean, spoilers, guys, for anybody who hasn't listened to a 2003 Big Finish audio. But I like the idea of them creating this kind of alternate version of the Daleks, effectively. And it turns out that the mechanoids are basically just like enhanced Daleks, but somehow they're more rubbish than the actual Daleks are.
They have to do a lot of heavy lifting, though, to make the mechanoids cool, in any context, really.
Well, yeah. I mean, who would win in a fight, a mechanoid or the Quarks?
Well, the Quarks would just knock them over with their weird square arms, so that wouldn't count. Oh no! Now he knows it was poison. I mean, I guess he knew already, but we might as well see it in action.
I better take some of this for the road.
That looks like good shit.
I'm on that shit.
Oh, they were testing it on the poor little mice or rats or whatever they are.
Ah. So now we know they're bad guys.
Now we know it's. I guess that scene works because it. I guess you need that threat of like, the man is going to basically gas the whole planet. Very understated reaction
but Ben, I suppose the biggest question.
Very understated reaction to a man coming out of the shadows with one of those mask things on.
Yes,
I'm very
and a kendo stick.
I'm very cultured. I knew what that was called. I was just testing you see. I was just pretending to know what it wasn't.
Well, Ben, the big question I've been aching to ask you since we started this commentary is, obviously, like you mentioned, Spielberg had a bit of a tie-in with the Close Encounters theme, but where does The Dragon Lives Again get its reference in this film?
Well, I think you're watching it now, aren't you?
Ah, perfect. Completely brilliant.
Slightly better.
So you admit
directed.
that it's
slightly better directed and acted, and
debatable.
I mean, surely Bond would just die of many, many internal cuts and bruises. That's quite funny. Nice little character bit. See,
oh, now you've really chonked my biscuits.
See, Sean would have just smashed it over his head. He wouldn't have been bothered.
I mean, let's just be grateful that this wasn't like in a Boudelet factory or something, because then Bond literally would have been weaponless for the entire run.
It's only glass. You can make glass anywhere. Glass is infinite, right?
Oh yeah, it's just sand.
It's just glass, mate. You just make glass anywhere. I've got a glass in my kitchen.
Go break it. You can buy another one.
I drink apple juice from it. You don't see me putting it in a museum and breaking it over the head of an Asian man. No.
No. You gotta be careful with that stuff.
See, Bond is a great spy because he noticed that the logo was on the box. And that's how he knows that Drax is a baddie, because we don't know that yet.
Excellent.
There's a lot of detecting of things that have already been detected in this film.
It's for this is a kids' film, isn't it, Ben?
Well, I mean, they're all kids' films to a degree. Maybe not kids' films. They're films for little, like, teenage boys, I guess. I'd say.
This is a film, Ben, that 9 to 12-year-olds can sit with their parents and watch, and the kids think it's really cool because it's like edgy in places.
It's like saying I suppose it's like saying Doctor Who's a kids show. It kind of is, but it's not. It's a show for everyone. That's what I think of the Bond films of this era. They're just making good old romps for the whole family. Romps where a man falls and dies in a piano, and then Bond makes a Casablanca reference. It's all right. It kind of works.
Yeah, I can see it.
I'm trying to think of what another alternative might have been. I guess I found the key to his, like a piano key. No, that don't work.
Let me think. Okay, I got it. Your performance was mixed, but your timing was terrible because he went through the clock face and into the piano.
It's a little convoluted, but I guess it could work. That never stopped him before.
Yeah.
we've not talked about Lois Childs, who was apparently considered for the last film to play Anya, but she missed out, so I guess she got a chance here.
Very nice.
Ah, I see you. I see you.
Ah, I see you've...
I see you're into nonsense as well.
I was just about to say, I see you have one of those space pens. Let you write upside down in space.
Do you also have a crazy old man who lives in a basement and makes exploding trousers and darts that shoot sex guns?
Why, yes, we call him 3.
Hello, and it's just played by Desmond Llewellyn again. Hello, how do you do?
Yes. But he's got a really fake, obvious sort of Groucho Marx moustache.
A very oversized one that almost covers his entire sort of chin.
Yes.
Now pay attention,
if you put
good.
both of those cues together and they touch, the world ends.
Now pay attention, Goodhead. Here's all these really cool gadgets that you are not going to use at any point in the rest of the film.
Oh, goody.
I guess it's just to establish that she's... And again, like the Spy Who Loved Me, he's meeting an agent from the, other spy enterprise.
This is one of those big recurring themes throughout the Bond films where a lot of the other agents who get discovered, or the people who are clearly competent at being able to do agenty stuff, have absolutely no agenty stuff to do because they need Bond to do it.
Because they need a strong man to do it. And a very good spy because, you see, he looked at the ticket and he sussed out where she was going. That's what spies do.
Ah, what detective skills from reading a thing.
So they taught me that at Oxford.
I've read all the things in the past. Books, magazines, jazz mags, you name it.
Leaflets, menus.
Pamphlets. There is a distinction between leaflets and pamphlets, let me make that clear.
Court restraining orders, you name it. If it's a thing, I've read it.
Wills. All kinds of things I've read. I can read.
Sponsored by Mackie D's.
I can say Big Mac.
I can say, come here, you saucy bit of crumpet.
I can say Totty.
They taught us that at Eton.
Back when I was working with Rugger.
See, everyone else, all the crowd are just like, aren't you the man who killed all those pigeons the other day?
No, completely different person. That was my Italian brother, James Franco.
I was going to say, that was my Italian brother, James Bond. No, I didn't get that right. Oh, fuck, I didn't get that right. Now, I must warn you, gentlemen, the following reference is very, very stupid.
Well, what do you mean, 007? I mean, starting things off, we enter the Close Encounters of the Third Kind theme on the doorpad to get in. My God, Bond, that is particularly stupid.
Gas masks, Bond? Well, he is French. Boom. I'm just making jokes for your right-wing fan. I'm just trying to keep him on side.
He'll leave a comment in a month's time like, "You're rubbish, Dan, but I really like that Ben guy. He's got his head screwed on. He'll go far."
I do find it funny that Drax has somehow changed the entire dimensions of the room. He just did it through the power of being...
Roger Moore has...
Just through the power of being evil and rich.
Roger Moore has the appropriate response there.
Just through the power of being evil and rich, he just looked at the room and it changed. And Frederick Gray is just gonna fucking lick his... I'm so sorry. I could possibly think a rich man could be evil. Oh, please. Oh, God, forgive me.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Drax. I didn't realise we were hiring fucking idiots into the MI5. I'll have him murdered immediately.
Get that lefty loony Bond off the case at once. Get that young upstart Bond off the case at once. That loony liberal.
That young upstart.
Oh, I should say as well, while he's on screen, that we are saying goodbye to Bernard Lee. This is his last one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a shame.
yeah, he passed away not long after filming this one.
Oh,
Yeah, so
God bless Bernard Lee.
yeah, I think I told this story on the fucking first one we did of these, but my granddad met Bernard Lee and had a pint with him.
I think you have mentioned it in passing. Did he have much to say?
I didn't actually. I didn't. Weirdly enough, despite being a band head, I didn't quiz him much on what they talked about. They probably just talked about, I don't know, fishing. My granddad was really into fishing. That's probably what they talked about. And Mr. Gimmick's back.
How does he get around? Did they have like a henchman hiring scheme, or?
Well, I mean, there's kind of the implication of that, isn't there? Because in that previous scene, Drax he's clearly on the phone to some sort of like agency, because he says something like, "Oh, well, if you can get him." So there's clearly some kind of like, oh look, Concord. That dates the film. There's clearly some kind of like agency for, Now apparently, there's actually a whole, that shot of Roger Moore getting off the plane just then. Yeah. There's a whole story behind that shot. He was a week late to the Brazil shoot because he had kidney stones, and so he had to stay home and recover. But because they were so behind schedule, that shot of him getting off the plane is the shot of Roger Moore entering Rio for the first time. They literally had hair and they had the hair and makeup team on the plane, getting him in his like outfit, doing the makeup, doing the hair, and they literally had the cameras rolling for as soon as he stepped off the plane. That's how tight it was.
Blimey.
I don't think I could pull off a full white suit like that.
No. I don't think I could either. I think I'm too much of a mucky pup.
I'd like to know the story.
No, I don't like the room. Have it torn up. I want another room in a different building facing the sun, please.
This hotel is dirty. Buy me a clean one. I'd like to know the story behind that rather camp...
Do you come with the room?
Oh, you.
Connery would have said that. That would have been a line Connery would have said.
I was just going to say, I'd like to know the story behind that very camp hotel valet who made the sort of face as Bond made the quip about the room. What's his story? What's his deal? What part does he play in the saga?
I'm sure that somewhere out there on fanfic.net that has been covered with great details of eroticism.
With gusto. Hello, I'm Bond girl number 4 in this film. My job is to basically be in the shot. Well,
yes, we get it, Totty. Next scene.
You could
well, there's plenty of things you can do.
You could go scoring for drugs in the favelas. You could go see that big statue of Jesus doing his thing.
There's multiple museums, libraries.
They've got a glass museum.
You can take part in some sports.
They've got a glass museum. I hear that's pretty funny.
Football is popular.
Yeah. They've got a glass museum. I hear that's a riot.
I love the fact that Bond turns up to the Rio Carnival in a full tuxedo.
Yes, very much looking the part there in very, very hot, humid Rio. In a full suit. No wonder he got kidney stones. Fucking hell.
Blimey.
Oh, God. Oh, God!
Terrifying. This is what I saw when we did the Withnail and I drinking game.
You just saw Moonraker on a loop. That's what happens when you drink a lot of sherry.
Yes, when you drink too much sherry, you just see that clown staring at you forever.
That is fucking creepy. I know it's Jaws in there, but that is fucking creepy the way it just sinisterly turns to meet them.
It's very, very unsettling.
That's like something from like you'd see on are cursed images. Or somewhere like that.
Oh, creepypasta.
Yeah. The Cabana Club, where apparently cloves are forbidden.
As is knowledge.
No shirt, no shoes, no socks, no bra, no undies, no trousers, no sunglasses.
We just have one rule. It just says no.
The club is called No.
Oh yes, whilst this comedy dining experience is taking place, I am drinking icy cold water. I have some delicious patisserie soft-baked cookies, courtesy of Morrison's. We're not being sponsored, but they are very good. And I've just finished a delicious Sunday roast. I had beef.
That's very nice. Oh, God. Get a gif of that.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Never mind gassing the world. What the plan is just for fill the world with creepy clown monsters. That'll sort it out. Saying that though, I'm not really as scared of clowns as I make out to be. I've never found clowns that scary. I know lots of people do.
Put the head back on. Put the head back on.
It's good old cuddly Jaws. They definitely go out of their way to make him a bit cuddlier and kid friendly in this one. Like in the last film, he was much more of a deadly enforcer. In this one, he's like he's a bit of a jokester. He's always getting into scrapes.
It's because the writers and the directors managed to source a copy of Egar in between productions and realised they wanted to bring out more of that comedy caveman sort of trope in him.
Now, where were we? Oh yes, killing you.
Of course, how could I forget?
Literally jumps in like a superhero.
He jumped in and broke both his ankles and his lower spine.
He's like, I know you. You're the guy from Happy Gilmore.
Hey, I know you. You're that guy from that thing. Hey, you were really awful to me last time.
Considering that Jaws was built up in the previous scene as like the baddest of the bad henchmen, he can apparently be defeated by some naked people in an alley. I'd like to think that it's just
nudity, my one weakness.
I like to think that's just permanently happening in Brazil. 1 minute you just sat there in an alley doing soclamine, and then out of nowhere you just get carnivaled.
Is that the technical term for it?
That's what they call it instead of punked. You've been carnivaled. You can still see him, his bobbing evil head in the background.
Oh God, I feel so sorry for those people in those animal costumes.
Well, they're in the shade at least.
It's plus 65 degrees Celsius inside those suits.
I know, but Richard Keel had to wear those fucking horrible teeth. Ooh, say Dan, I don't know about you, but suddenly I've got this strange desire to drink delicious soft drink 7-Up. I don't know about you.
It's the cool, refreshing taste of 7-Up.
Now, coming up is the scene where he looks through a telescope. That's the level.
No, that's no good. Where are the beaches? I want to see Totty.
But first I must take a drink of this refreshing drink with the green can. That's it, only $1.99 at selected stores. Delish.
What a bargain.
Not like Sprite like that Frenchy Drax drinks. Oh no. This is the real deal.
It's the taste of a generation, I've heard.
Does the shot come in? I know it's not for a bit yet, but there's a shot coming up where it just lingers on a 7-Up billboard for like 5 whole seconds. Does have a caption at the bottom. Give us our money now, please. I always weirdly misread that scene every time I see it for some reason. I always picture that like she's literally like on the other side of the coast, like 1,000 miles away. And he's just like, oh, it's you. And then it just cuts to them walking up to each other.
He looks away, he looks back, she's closer. He looks away, she looks back, she's closer still, and it's just like thousands of miles are being covered every.
Yeah, I've never realised this actually until you pointed it out just now. But I bet it must have been very uncomfortable wearing those suits in this weather.
Well, black absorbs heat, so even if it was a mild day, it would probably still be in its mid-30s. So inside those suits, it's got to be pushing mid-40s to early, low 50s.
He's also got hair and makeup stuff on his face, which is going to make him hotter. Not that Roger Moore needs any help being hot.
Seals all his pores off.
Yeah, and he's just had kidney stones. Poor Roger.
Oh God, this feels awful.
Not that Roger Moore needs any more help being hot. Am I right, ladies?
He's a scrum diddly little pound cake. Let me tell you right now.
Jaws used his actual powers of super strength to stop the thing. Poor Richard Keel. I don't know if I said this in the last one. He could only wear those things for like 5 minutes before his gums started bleeding.
Absolutely. Well, this is the thing. I mean, as you'd have thought, in between films, they would have maybe looked for an easier option.
No,
but no.
Well, they tried. I think they tried to make it with plastic and it just didn't look good, so they had to use real metal. So he had to walk around all day with a lump of metal in his mouth. That was licorice, apparently.
Yee. Oh. At least it was nice, unless he didn't like licorice.
I mean, he wouldn't have been tasting him with those things on. Yeah, there's the front projection in those bits is a little skew with.
Yeah, it's not great. To be honest. Yeah. Don't worry, James. Just hang about. Now's the time not for puns. Oh, when you do it, it's fine. But when I do it, I'm somehow a bastard.
I love the wide shots where there actually is a person, a stunt man or stunt woman, actually standing on that cable car. That looks very scary.
It does, yeah. That's quite a drop, isn't it?
Yeah. Bang! Just like the Moonraker knows.
Oh yeah, I forgot this film's supposed to be set in space.
Well, no, it's not set in space. Well, technically, you could argue that every film is set in space because the Earth's in space.
Yes.
Ha! I win. And now they're going to have
My prize?
A face pushy fight.
Yeah. Hang on, how come headbutting him knocks him out, but like when Bond's thrown a full-on punch at him before now, it's not done anything?
Because Jaws is a goofy monster in this film. Every other shot is him pulling a comedy face.
Very true.
Like in the previous film, they attempted to make him somewhat intimidating. In this one, he's just kind of goofy. But yeah, it's fine, whatever.
You know what? I'm okay with it. I think Richard Keel is an enjoyable actor in both The Spy Who Loved Me and this film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem with him being a little bit more goofier. If it means that he gets more screen time, I'm happy with that.
Yes. And it's obviously a case in it of they've obviously seen that kids love Jaws and they were like, money. Toy opportunities.
Okay, fellas, Operation J.W. Peppered fell through. What are we going to do?
We'll be swimming in 7-Up.
Whilst they're going down this railing because it's taking ages, he just goes, hang on a minute. Rio? That's the place where they have all the spiders.
I thought it was going to be something like, Rio? That's in Brazil. Oh, never realised. I just close my...
We've got to get out of here.
I just close my eyes and then I wake up and I'm in a different country every day. That shot where it's like...
That's the power of alcoholism.
No, not the 7-Up.
Oh, coming up, we have a wonderful... No!
Not the beautiful caffeinated drink.
Coming up, we have a wonderful... we have a wonderful example of the Mandela effect in action shortly.
We have a wonderful what?
which is this lovely bit coming up here.
Oh,
with Dolly.
Yes.
Now, tons and tons of people.
See, this is the classic film thing.
Seem to recall that she has braces
to make an actress look not attractive. Just take an already attractive woman and put glasses on her.
But as you can clearly see from this shot, she doesn't have braces.
No, I mean, who said she had braces?
There was a Mandela effect. There's a lot of people who believe that Dolly had braces and that the joke was when she gives that big smile, she's got braces on, and the idea is that Jaws has fallen in love with a girl who's got braces, and, you know, because they've both got metal mouth stuff going on. That's the joke.
I never thought that. I never thought that. I mean, it's obvious she's not wearing braces.
Yeah. No, but there's a big thing online. If you type in Dolly braces Mandela effect on Google, or Moonraker Mandela effect for that matter, there are loads of articles from people who swear blind that the original release of this film had Dolly with braces, and the joke was that was the thing. But she never did.
There's also another Mandela effect as well, in that people think that Nelson Mandela was in this film.
Really?
Yeah, he plays Jaws.
Yes, I remember that bit well. Clearly he is. What do you mean he's not? Excuse me? Have you gotten any morphine?
It'd be funny if, like, this really sultry, sexy-looking woman, and her voice is just like, "Hello!
Go fly me, governor!
Hello!
Look at me!
Oh, we're about to run into we're coming up to Product Placement Avenue.
Oh, Brill. I can't wait for that. How much should I buy?
I see, I thought I think it would have been funnier if, when Bond does the little wink, it turns out the guy's more into Bond than Holly.
Yes.
I mean, it's a little rum joke, but I'm just sort of going with the mood of the times this was made.
It could have worked. It could have worked. I'd see it. Of course, unfortunately, then you'd be... Oh, it's back! I need to buy more 7-Up.
I'm already emptying my bank account as we speak, and buying more watches. And more fags.
And I need to smoke.
It's literally like... I think that's the name of this street. If you go to Brazil, it's called Product Placement Lane. You just go there and you're just bombarded with products.
But tell me, Ben, where can a man buy a cigarette, a wristwatch, and a case of 7-Up? and a plane.
And a plane. All in one go-to stop. This is
very slowly turns into the Wizard of Oz. Oh wait, no, they went Magnificent Seven. Brilliant.
Yeah, is this just like in the last film when they played the Lawrence of Arabia music?
Yes, it is. What I'm getting from this film, Ben, is that they looked at the last film and went, okay, let's just do that, but we've got a bigger budget, so let's just be a bit more gratuitous.
Let's just do that, but dumber.
Yes. People complained about the last film being too intelligent.
I'm just picturing the script. Cut to Roger Moore in a poncho. As he goes to a monastery. So, whatever.
Where he ransacks one of the monks and steals his robes.
I like to think this film was written one page at a time. I know all scripts are written one page at a time. What I mean is just like, they just gave it to someone else. Without showing them what the previous pages were. And then...
Well, don't you remember, Ben, in the late 1970s when they passed the script from household to household and told people to just add a page?
That'd be a good way to make a film. And this is, again, a retread of the scene in Spy Who Loved Me when M is inexplicably ransacked and destroyed Egyptian history to put a desk in.
It's great, isn't it? I found this ancient pot. It apparently contains some pharaoh smash.
Hello, it's me again. I'm still in the film. Hello, it's me. I'm still in the film.
Back again. Oh no, they just killed some Brazilian dictator.
Q just has a very bizarre fetish for destroying shop window dummies. I bet he loved Spearhead from Space when he first saw that. Yes, Bond, kill them!
Oh, you better believe it.
Kill them all!
Kill them all!
I wonder when
This gun will never appear in any other James Bond film.
I wonder when they were making Dr. No, they imagined they'd one day have a scene where Bond would walk through a monastery dressed in a poncho while a monk shot a laser at a dummy.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds silly.
It's like Mad Libs, isn't it? James Bond goes to space and he has a laser and he has a rocket boat and
wears a poncho.
I like to think that I always imagine that painting is just being destroyed slowly as the graph came down.
Yes. The laser that's being projected onto that screen is actually going clean through the picture and just whitewashing it, erasing it forever.
Oh, fuck it. It's just a picture of some woman and a baby. We know what they look like.
People in the 16th century used to knock these out every day. We can afford to get rid of one or two of them.
This is the latest innovation from Q Branch. It's called a map. Pay attention, 007.
Frightful looking Q. How does it work? We're back in a bloody boat again.
Back in the boats. You can get seasick very easily watching the Roger Moore films in a row.
Were boats like an exotic thing back in the 70s?
Well, I mean, they're an exotic thing now, depending on where you go.
I don't know. If I see a boat, I'm just like, that's a boat. I don't go, ooh,
Yeah, but,
a boat.
Yeah, but you don't...
How mysterious.
Yeah, but you don't go to... you don't go... I'm trying to think of somewhere that's like a dock. You don't go to Liverpool and see a rocket gondola or a big spy boat that has rockets firing at it.
No, but even then, I don't think I'd be like, oh my god, a boat. I'd be like,
I think boats
yeah,
were
it's a boat. It's the same way that if I saw a really fancy car.
I think they were definitely in, weren't they? Like, it's kind of like, if you look at it in context, look at John Pertwee and his obsession with like anything amphibious, hovercrafts, speedboats. You know,
the Hoomobile.
Yeah, that's the one thing Bond needed.
John Pertwee?
No, Bessie. The latest thing from Q Branch. It's called an old clapper.
From Q Branch.
Oh man, they blew up the dummies. Every year, thousands of dummies are murdered in the name of filming Bond films. You can help stop this madness.
Just £2 a month will help us not film in front of a rubbish blue screen. £3 a month will help give some dummies a rest instead of being blown to fuck.
Cut to Richard Keel pointing. Oh, they play this piece of music's not been in the films for a while. This is.
I was just about to say, Ben, I can't believe that they managed to film this all on the James Bond set.
Well, ironically, they didn't go to the James Bond set for this film, so which is strange considering like. Apparently, they really liked it because the French have very strict union rules about film production. You can only film for 8 hours a day. You get to start filming at noon. It's not like British or American films where like they can just put in mountains of overtime and have people working like 12-hour days. So everyone enjoyed themselves.
I did like that effect, by the way.
Which one?
That stunt of the boat just driving out the middle of the woodlands and just smashing into the water, and then.
Oh yeah. Oh, and this is cool coming up. You look at that.
Yeah.
That is scary.
How's James Bond going to get out of this one?
It'd be taking the piss if you got the Union Jack parachute out again.
It would be. No, this is far worse. He has a built-in hang glider into his multi-billion-pound speedboat. Even he's like, what?
There's loads of good shots of Jaws going, what the fuck is that? There's a really good one coming up at the end battle, which I'll point out. Uh-oh. I
like to think that...
I swear he looks at the camera then. Do. Or just a caption.
Oh
Rest in peace.
Candle in the wind slowly fades up.
But of course Jaws survives that, because apparently Jaws' superpower is that he's immortal. He's basically a god.
He's forced to live forever.
He's forced to live forever. He's forced against his will.
Yes, whether we want him to be alive or not, it does not matter. You can strike him down and he will come back 10 times stronger.
Luckily, Bond landed in just the right bit of rainforest where the plot was happening.
Oh, brilliant. That's convenient.
Convenient, wasn't it?
That'll save him hours of trekking through jungle and possibly dying of malaria.
That'll save us a 3-hour walking sequence.
Brilliant.
Now, of course, Bond just seeing a bit of Totty in the rainforest just naturally assumes that it's not, a gigantic trap. A very obvious...
Funnily enough, Ben, Totty in the Rainforest is the name of my ska punk band.
I mean, it's sort of like... I'm just picturing like a neon arrow. Go here for Totty. Well, the sign said to go there.
He walks into that secret compartment door and it's just like a chamber with multiple doors and Neocortex pops up. You've got to collect the crystals, Bond.
My drunk friend was watching Moonraker at 4 a.m. and he sent me this.
Yes. Roger Moore turns to camera and goes, "What?"
YouTube, please stop recommending that video. I've seen it. I don't need it. I don't need it firing at me again. I'm aware of it.
I'm going to keep sending it.
Do you know what's funny is my mentioning it is probably going to actually make it get mentioned more. I've only just realised, and it's fucking obvious. I've only just realised that the blonde lady is the lady in the glass museum. And it's like,
yes,
yeah, of course it is. Only just realised.
Of course.
Well, yeah, because they're all like in Drax's lady club.
Bond's there just checking his pulse, be like, "Am I dead? I think I might be dead."
Don't mind me, I'll just stand on this very obvious platform and admire all you lovely things.
Oh no. Oh, that suit's never going to wash clean.
I did enjoy the juxtaposition of him falling and you going, "Oh no." All calm. Oh god, look at that.
Oh no, it's a water snake.
I mean, the
worst kind of spider.
I mean, I literally could not conceive of this happening. This is the most unlikeliest thing to happen to me today. And what if Bond hadn't stood on the platform? What then? Be fucked.
They'd have all just sort of stared at him. Maybe they'd have dragged him onto the...
Very, very awkward scene of them all staring, because they don't get any lines. They don't get to speak.
No. They don't have the budget to have them to talk, so they've just got to stare at him until he steps on the right mark.
Your job is to look pretty and stand there. Oh no, he stabbed the toy snake.
They just killed that rubber snake.
Oh, they killed the Kinder. Well, not the Kinder, what is it?
Oh no.
Yeah, it is the Kinder.
Damara.
Damara, that's it. Why did I say... Oh, the episode's called Kinder.
Oh, they're going to be livid. Yes.
Hello, I'm basically a god. I survived a leap off a fucking 1,000-foot waterfall. What are they wearing on their heads?
I believe that they're some kind of modern hairdryer.
It looks like they've got like pillows wrapped around them.
These are the worst space outfits I've seen in any sci-fi film in a good while, and that's saying something coming from me.
Mr. Bond, so glad you could join us. We were just about to have a pillow fight.
I was just about to tell Jaws who my secret crush is. It's you.
They're all playing Spit in the Bottle.
Yes. Whoever it lands on has to spend 7 minutes in heaven.
And by heaven, I mean my giant space heaven that I'm building right now. That's a cool Ken Adamy set though, with all the weird angles and the screens and all the rest of it.
I do like it. Yeah, it's got a real nice grandness about it.
I think this is the last.
I like Drax's chair as well.
Yeah, it's very. It conveys just the right level of menace. of cool menace.
I like that it's got wings.
Maybe his plan was to, like, if Bond thwarts his plans now, he could take off in the chair.
Hard cut to the 90s X-Men theme.
I think I might be wrong. I think this was the last film that Ken Adam worked on. Could be wrong, but yeah, just looking at these giant sets reminded me. I mean, he inspired the French production team to work overtime, something which they never did.
Blimey.
Because I was reading that, like, he was like, "What do you mean you don't work overtime? Every single Bond film I've worked on needs overtime. You have to come in overtime." And they were so impressed by his designs that they did it, even bringing their families along and everything. It all sounds very sweet.
They all spent 20 years in jail and were charged £100,000 each for breaking international rules.
For breaking union rules.
Yes. Looks like the Jaws, again, just has that really nice... What?
It's not a great optical effect. It's slightly better than the one at the end of You Only Live Twice. But not by a lot.
Agreed. I'd say it's good.
But that was...
I think... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that film was 12 years before this one, and the optical effects haven't improved that much in that time.
No. I think that Keel is probably the star of this film in many regards. I think he really steals the show off Moore, and that's saying something given what Moore's normally
up
to.
I don't disagree with that. Jaws is definitely the breakout character. I mean, how often do they bring back, apart from Blofeld, they don't tend to bring back baddies ever. Rarely, especially not in the quote unquote classic era. So at the time, that would have been a big deal getting Jaws back in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really nice set though.
That's a miniature. That's like, yeah, it's really good. It's funny, like that's what I mean about this film being such a mixed bag. Like there's so many for every great effect, for every really nice piece of set design or miniature work, it'll cut to like Roger Moore in front of a CSO screen pointing. Ooh, excuse me.
I don't like the scales being operated here. Everything looks either too big or too small. Like Drax looked tiny in that previous shot.
Well, we've officially entered Wacky World now, I believe, at this point in the film.
Yay! Wacky World, Wacky World, Wacky World.
Mr. Bond, welcome to Wacky World.
I mean, it will never top Christopher Lee's underground amusement arcade from The Man with the Golden Gun, but yeah, okay, this is fine. This is wacky enough.
Yeah. You can tell the optical effect there, can't you, with Drax? Like, I see what you mean, actually. The scale's a bit weird. Like, Drax looks really tiny in that shot compared to Bond and Holly. What are you going to do? You're going to shoot a laser? You're going to... No, just checking the time. Oh. Time of death, 10:08.
It's got a calculator built in as well, you know.
You can play Snake on it. Fancy a game of Snake?
I can tell.
Snake?
Go on, give me an equation. Give me an equation. 2 + 2.
We're going to die. It doesn't matter. I'll just say I know it when I don't.
4. 3 × 12. That one's a hard one.
What do you think of that one, Dan?
That was boring. Needs better pun.
Always so negative with the puns. I also think that fire would have reached them much quicker than it is.
Yes, it probably would have killed them all.
I mean, like,
it set fire to Connery's shoes then. Did you see that?
Connery's shoes. I didn't even know he was in the film.
Yeah, he came back as the stuntman for Roger Moore because I'm an idiot.
He came back to have his shoes on fire.
Yeah, the stuntman who did it for Moore then just literally got his legs set on fire by that.
I don't know much about space travel, but wouldn't Hugo Drax wasn't wearing a spacesuit? Wouldn't he die? Because isn't there something to do with like atmospheric pressure in the rocket, and that's the reason for the spacesuit.
There is oxygen on board. There is oxygen on board on spaceships. I think they reserve using it during flight though, just purely so that they've got enough to last them while they're up there.
I mean, as we all know, this film is very, very realistic in its depiction of science and space travel and physics.
Oh look, it's the Peruvian salt mines where they stored all those copies of Doctor No.
It's where the Underwater Menace is kept.
Oh, brilliant! Where the Daleks Master Plan episode 12 is.
I very much enjoyed that little jingle there. I don't know why. It resonated with me deeply.
I did. It's a little bit protect and survive.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Now launching Def Rocket. Def Rocket number 1. Do-do-do-do.
Boo. Boo, 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 boo.
I like how it all...
I always like to imagine an alternate... Oh, go ahead.
So go on. You always like to imagine an alternative...
Oh, I was going to say, I always like to imagine an alternative cut where they accidentally got on the Moonraker rocket filled with horny people, and Bond was just like turns to the camera with a big grin, and Age of Aquarius starts playing.
Iris out. End.
Yeah. There's a post-credit sequence set 200 years in the future, and everyone looks like Roger Moore. Even the women, especially the women.
Oh look! I think little Jimmy's about to say his first words. Hello there. Oh, he looks at his mum. A woman.
Goo goo gaga.
Oh dear. Oh, we're in space now.
Oh, brilliant. So, how did they get the budget to go to space, Ben?
Oh well, let me tell you. Yeah, it was all that money that I think it was 7-Up money. I think that's where the 7-Up financing came from.
It was the money they saved from paying the French crew to do overtime.
That's why they shot in France. I'm just picturing an alternative version of that little scene you described with Roger Moore on the horny ship, and then it just cuts to credits. We are one. Hey, this came out.
Freeze frames on Roger. Freeze frames on Roger Moore's smiling face as the credits roll up. Do 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 do. We are one.
Hey, this came out the same year.
It did.
79.
It did actually.
They just did the 2001 thing with the taking the pen off the glass.
And the thing is, as well, it's a space pen, which means they can write in zero gravity.
In space, no one can see you write.
I wonder if they're the right way up.
Whatever. It's probably what the filmmakers said.
What the fuck is this?
Oh, hang on. He is on the horny boat.
Who are these people? Oh, brilliant. Right, well, why did the film bother going on past this point?
Because then we don't get crazy space-time laser battle.
But you're telling me, right, that James Bond has the opportunity to go and roger all of these people's moors and you're going to instead have him save the day.
That's a nice shot.
That is a nice shot.
I'm kind of glad all these people get burned up and killed. I mean, they
James Bond never made it home.
I mean, they were perfectly willing to allow the entire planet to be destroyed, so they can't all be that, like, high in moral, goodness.
Well, funnily enough, I've looked into repopulation of the Earth statistics, Ben, because that's what I do in my downtime when I'm alone in the dark in my bedroom at 4 o'clock in the morning. And Drax's plan would have had one critical flaw in that
it's bollocks.
Putting 16 male and female bits of totty on a rocket and saying that'll do for repopulating the Earth. Yeah, that wouldn't work. You need approximately 250 people to do that. Otherwise, everybody dies regardless because there's not enough difference in the gene pool to allow for divergence and non-mutations. So Drax isn't as clever as you'd think. He thought that he could repopulate the Earth with just 16 bits of totty, and that's not the case.
Here's the thing, though, right? Because they're not even going to repopulate the Earth because the poison gas domes. There's a line where it says that it destroys all the plant life and all the crops, so that nothing can ever grow again. So Drax's plan was to basically just hang out in this thing. I mean, what are they going to do when the food runs out? Go to Mars? try and find the aliens?
We have to offer a sacrifice to the gods of our crops. They shall not fail.
At least with Stromberg's very similar plan in the last film, at least that was also illogical and wouldn't work, but you can see why it would make sense because he'd still be on a planet with resources, but here they're just completely abandoning that. They're just going to live in a metal box. And what's going to happen when they all die? It just
can't even get BBC Two up there.
It's just ridiculous. It's a bit of an extension as well. It's a bit different from the plan in the book, where Hugo Drax just wanted to fire V2 rockets at London.
You see, that one at least makes a bit more sense.
There was no crazy space adventures in the book.
Oh God, I've just realised. Hugo Drax watched The Hawk in Space. That's his plan. He watched the Tom Baker story with the Wirren and basically went, I'm going to do that.
Bubble wrap. That is the future. I will wrap the toddy in bubble wrap.
I've seen it, Mr. Bond. It will keep them safe for 1,000 years. Because nothing's going to touch me in these golden years.
Drax, you need...
Oh.
Drax, you need to get out more. You crazy weirdo.
Have you met the Duchess of Edinburgh and the Duchess of Cornwall?
Why did you make them royalty?
On your way. Don't know. Why not? Drax is very well connected.
He's. I'm always picturing like Frederick Grey from the Ministry turns out to be the real bad guy. It was me all along. The dirty Tory. Frederick Grey was like, "Can I come and live on your space sex dome?" Drax was just looking him over, going, "No is the answer."
Oh no, we only have 16 seats, and I obviously have to fill it with totty. Sorry. Bye.
I'm picturing it as like, as like that sort of Family Guy style humor where the joke is just a scene drags on forever. Like, it's just like, yeah, see, that's the thing. We've only got 16 seats, and you're the 17th member, and I'd love to have you on. Don't get me wrong, Frederick, you're the man. You're the Grey. That's what we call you, the Grey. But just maybe not on this time. No, but maybe next time. There won't be a next time.
But Drax, you let Jaws on.
He's not exactly your idea of Aryan perfection.
Look, Frederick, don't make this any more difficult than it is.
Yes, but you see, Jaws has a lovely singing voice. Not many people know that.
You should hear him sing Copacabana. It's quite beautiful.
Like how Drax even has mood lighting for his...
First, there was the dream, and the dream was intangible. I grabbed that dream. It tasted like Milky Way. After eating most of the dream, I saved some of the dream and wrote the dream down on a piece of paper. The dream is now written. I then built the dream over many years with my magnificent money and face. The dream is now reality. We no longer refer to this reality as the dream, because this dream is now very much real.
That was almost Trump-like in its nonsense wording. But which by the way makes just as much sense as what Drax is actually saying. And also, that was the shot I was talking about earlier when he's making his evil villain speech, and Richard Jaws just looks at him as if to go, "What are you on about? You crazy weirdo." I like how he had mood lighting for his evil villain speech.
Oh yeah, he had that pre-built in.
a pre-set up.
That was that was the first requirement of building this horny breeding station. He said if he couldn't have mood lighting for his speech, he didn't want to do the whole project.
The whole thing's off. Cancel it. Put it in the bin.
Done.
Normal. They're all right to not be on wires anymore because they put up a sign saying normal gravity zone. So they can walk around now without doing the weird slow motion-y walking.
That's a shame. I wish there was more floaty around stuff that took ages to get done.
Oh, wait.
The only thing worse than an underwater fight sequence is a zero gravity one.
Oh, just you wait.
Great.
I like how in this film they've established Holly Goodhead as this super cool CIA agent, and her job is mainly just to smile at men. That's not very.
But you see, Ben, though, in the Bond universe, men are very easily distracted by smiling ladies.
He looked so pleased with himself. He was like a little boy. Then he looked so pleased with himself. I punched a man.
Yeah,
I want to do it again.
I did it.
Yay! I did it.
Come here. I did the thing.
She appears to have an early prototype of the Switch there, I see.
It is. At the time the Joy-Cons were non-removable, it had a grand total of a 5-minute battery life, and the screen was only able to display 8 pixels.
While all this is going on, Frederick Grey's still in the corner. No, he can't possibly be evil. Maybe he's just having a fishing trip. Yes, that's right, a space fishing trip. Why did they give him red pyjamas? Is it because he's Russian?
I can see he's clearly going to catch that moon carp we've all been hearing about.
See, perfectly normal man. Not evil at all. I think we should trust him and give all our money and resource to him immediately.
Hang on, scrap the fact that he's wearing red pyjamas. Why is he wearing red pyjamas where the buttons are off to the right and not down the middle?
Because he's a crazy Russian. Originally, that lady was supposed to be Barbara Bach.
Oh,
yeah,
the lovely Barbara Bach.
Yeah, in what would have been a callback, but they didn't end up doing it for some reason, which is a shame because that would have been a nice little joke.
Mm. And it was never seen again.
And the world was destroyed.
The end. Thread soon.
Roll the credits. Iris out. We are one. That's the only bit of the song I know.
We've got some half-price crack ties and loads of cover.
You know what? You'd think Bond by now would suss that punching Jaws doesn't really work. I mean, he's done it enough.
He's going to keep doing it until it works.
He's tried it enough times.
That was a Leslie Nielsen joke. That would have been in a Zucker film.
All it needed was a very, very... In fact, I say all it needed. I think it did have a really loud doing sound effect.
It did. It went clang.
That's what we do.
Is it possible to cancel it all off now? Can we just go home?
All right, you got me. I was trying to gas the world. You got me. Cut to...
But it's all right. I've learned my lesson now.
Cut to Frederick Gray. See? He's learned his lesson. He's a perfectly nice man. I think we should trust him and everything he says ever. He could be marvellous for
If destroyed, still true, no takesy backsies.
He'll help us kill the miners. I always thought that line...
Don't you see, Mr. Bond? The Silurians are at large. We must take them out before they take us out.
I always thought that line from Roger Moore would have sounded really good coming from Tom Baker. Your dream, whatever sort of nightmare it has, hasn't a chance, Drax. You know, Tom Baker in the early seasons when he's really trying, not in the later seasons when he stops giving a shit.
Can't be arsed.
Yeah. Basically, when he puts the red coat on, you know it's time to stop watching the Tom Baker seasons.
Yeah. Drax, your plan was to destroy all of humanity, but why? Don't you see, Mr. Bond, a world that creates Caligula is hardly one worth saving.
I'd be curious to see the box office gross of this film compared to the box office gross for Caligula.
Let's have a look while we're here. Okay. Moonraker box office gross. $70 million.
Sweet. Not
for Moonraker.
For 1979, that is a pretty sweet take.
That's a pretty decent crack.
Yeah.
As of the 29th of June 1979, when it was released domestically, it grossed $70,308,099. Now, Caligula scored $23.4 million US.
Little drop off, little bit of a gap,
just a little. That's the catering's going to have to be downgraded, but
now you see what Bond does here is he does what the Doctor would do with the Master, where it's a very simple tactic. It's called pointing out the fucking obvious at the very last minute. Like, do you remember how Terror of the Autons
Wait
ends?
a second.
They will destroy everything, but they'll destroy you too.
I would be killed.
My God,
this is a really bad plan.
But the Autons will destroy you, Doctor. Yes, well, they'll destroy you too. Oh my God, you're right. We have to destroy them.
Why didn't I consider this?
Did I literally not conceive this at any point?
It all seemed so rational at first.
Jaws is a goodie now.
Yay.
Jaws wouldn't be phased by little sticks.
I think they've got like stunny bits on, which would probably be worse for Jaws because he's made of metal, so he'd be just conductive.
Don't forget, Jaws is an elder god. He can survive anything.
Very true. If you strike him down, he comes back 10 times stronger. We've established this.
Blow up space station
Who
button.
Who puts a blow up the space station button on a space station anyway?
Well, just a button, the end film button.
Oh no! He's hit the start the credits button 20 minutes early.
Oh no! He's hit the nonsense button.
We've now got to finish the film before the credits end.
That's true of any film, surely. Oh yeah, it's time for lots of shots of people going, whoa, whoa. I'm in space.
Can't believe they built all this on the James Bond set.
I mean, considering it wasn't, it looks pretty...
It's not helped by the fact you can...
Considering it wasn't built on the Bond set, it looks pretty good. I think, as well, the French...
It does.
The French film industry was very pissed off with them because they basically used every soundstage in France to make this film. I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Jaws, this mission is too important for me to jeopardize.
I'm sorry, Jaws, I can't allow you to do that. When they go to power him down, duh, I learned a song. Do you want me to sing it? Da 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 da.
So, here's a question: do you prefer the frogman fight in Thunderball or this?
This, but only because it's bizarre, and it had a moment then when a man got flung off into space and went. Ah!
All it needed was the Wilhelm scream.
Yes.
That would have.
Whereas the underwater fight.
Well, this is.
It's just too.
This is better than the underwater fights because it's shorter. Basically,
it is shorter, and also you get to watch a load of men in spacesuits like fly about. Whereas the underwater stuff, they kind of once they've been hit, they kind of float to the surface, and that's it.
Yeah, and I will say at this point, the space effects are actually quite impressive. Obviously, compared to today's effects.
Oh yeah.
Compared to today's effects, that obviously the lasers are obviously opticals, and they're obviously being floated about on wires, but. I mean, like, it's not quite Star Wars level, but I'd say it's just nearly there. It's almost as good, I'd argue.
It's getting there. Yeah. It certainly is. No, I would agree.
They've certainly learned how to do space scenes better than previous space scenes in Bond films, where they just got, like, an optical of a spaceship and just dropped it onto a match. Fuck it, that'll do. But you can still see the lines.
Okay, so here's a theory for you.
Oh. I like theories.
Here's a theory for you. Q is a double agent, and he's been selling weapons to bad guys for years.
I don't think Q's a double agent. I think it's slimy old Frederick Grey, the Tory. I think he's the double agent. He's the one who should be
selling Q's weapons to bad guys.
Yeah.
The reason I raise it is because Q's agents were learning how to use those space lasers about an hour ago. And they were considered sort of top secret tech. So how have all of Drax's men got like fully finished versions of them?
To be fair, the US Army are the ones with the lasers. So the goodies have the lasers too.
Yeah, but they only got them from the baddies.
Well, I don't know the lore here. I don't know the backstory behind the laser fiasco. Yeah, nice blowy uppy ending. God love a good blow up.
Always a good
blow uppy ending. Oh man, that was a good fall. You went ah.
That was good. Everything's just kicking off now. We're back to the evil volcano layer.
See, this is what I miss in films as well. People getting shot and flailing about. Because obviously they've been told to react to a laser that's going to be matted in later, so they don't know what it's going to be like.
Oh no, Drax is going into cold storage so that he can be resurrected like Demolition Man.
Drax has a really good line here. That's a cool cold thing to say. Shame that he's about to be killed.
Very cool.
He's about to be killed by a nonsense.
Oh no, that was one of the horny darts.
We are one. Take a giant step into a...
He gets blasted out the air. He gets blasted out the airlock and he's just got a massive stonk on.
Take a giant step into a Dario Argento film. You know, because of all the red lights.
It was very nice. Missed that. He should have said he's just stepped out for some. Yes.
He's just he doesn't have the confidence to finish it. He's just stepped out for some.
Well, you're supposed to say.
Well, he's dead. I've killed him. I have thrown him out of the thing. That is what has happened.
Well, it's because I was thinking he'd go, he's just stepped out for some air, but there's no air in space. So he'd get to the point where he's about to say, stepped out for some, and then he'd have to stop himself and go, hang on a minute, there isn't any air in space. Yes.
That's what I mean. Like, he just lose confidence in his pun before it even ends.
Yeah. You could say I put him in the airlock and blasted him into space.
Whoa, that proper wibbly wobbly sets there. Look at that.
Ace.
Some lovely miniature work now of the spaceship being knocked about and blown up and everything going to hell. See, I know a lot of people mock this film for just how outlandish and crazy it gets, but at least it does it well. You know, if you're gonna, it's
well made crazy.
If you're gonna go for it, go for it. That's what I say when it comes to making films with this sort of tone. You know.
Absolutely. It excels in being completely and totally absurd.
Bit like ourselves, really.
Oh yes. And at the end of the day, what Bond film isn't complete without a giant lair exploding and bursting into flames?
Oh, you've got to have the giant lair blowing up. That's in the contract. It ain't a Bond
obligatory.
It ain't a Bond film if giant lair don't blow up. I actually get disappointed when I see some Bond films, including some of the modern ones, where giant lairs don't blow up. Even if there's no giant lair, I'd still like to see one blow up.
Yeah.
Just blow up something.
I mean, what, you're implying that giant lairs don't blow up in the new Bond films?
Oh, no.
Instant 5-star deduction for all new Bond films.
Oh, it's all
they
good.
Both lived.
See? There is such a thing as happiness in the world.
See, good things do happen to bad people.
He may have murdered probably hundreds of people, but you know what? He's a funny guy and he pulls a funny face. And where did they find champagne on a spaceship?
Bond snuck 2 bottles up his arse.
Bond never leaves the house without Bollinger, so that makes sense.
So great they managed to get Orson Welles in to do Jaws' voice.
I know if it was Orson Welles, he'd be flogging the champagne, not drinking it. The French champagne. Give me another bottle of that at once.
And what better way to wash down this Bollinger than with some of Mrs. Fell's fish sticks?
More licorice there.
Beautiful.
I like how there's screens everywhere so Bond can watch the rest of the film. That's very convenient.
It does. It's really helpful of them doing that. Drax must have been thinking well in advance.
He planted cameras in every possible place. Well, it was a sex dome after all.
Yes. He needed to see how it worked.
I love that line they gave to Roger there to try and give them a happy ending. Don't worry, they'll be fine. I mean, you don't know that. You don't know they'll be fine.
They left the Earth's orbit 2 hours later and basically ended up travelling through the infinite void for the rest of their lives till they died of starvation and dehydration.
The post-credit scene is just 2 skeletons in a shuttle. It's like...
One with very metal teeth.
It's like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. They crash land back on Earth, and it's like a wasteland, deserted, and it's just filled with people who all have Roger Moore's head. Like, they all have completely different body types, but just the head is perfectly Roger Moore.
You had a lot.
Planet of the Moor.
That's your second time tonight where you fantasized about a world populated by Roger Moores. Some kind of subconscious desire of yours.
I've been watching a lot of Alan Partridge.
Oh yeah, they got to blow up the deaf domes.
Ah, brilliant. Pass the controls to me. I've been playing the Star Wars arcade machine for the last 3 weeks.
It's funny you mentioned Star Wars. They must have been doing this on purpose, because like there's even a bit in a minute where it's like, I need to turn off the targeting computer. It's like it's using the Force.
But that's 1,000,000 to 1 shot.
Why not just go the whole hog and just have Harrison Ford and a dog fly in and go wahoo?
They come running into the back of the shot and they go, wrong film, and then they run off again, and that's it.
Wrong film, Chewie. Him and Bond would just be sat.
Oh, I like the fact that when you did your Harrison Ford impression, then I was really happy that you did old man Harrison Ford and not young Harrison Ford.
That's how he spoke back then as well. Oh, your religion.
He was a little bit more
ancient weapons, no match for a
more upbeat.
A good blaster at your side, kid. I like to think if him and Bond.
Whereas now he's just all like, I don't know what to do here.
If there was a crossover, him and Bond wouldn't be going on adventures. They'd just be comparing notes on how many women they've shagged. I shagged Diana Rigg. Yeah, well, I shagged Carrie Fisher.
Touché.
What, you settled down with her? Boring. Love him and leave him, that's what I say.
Get with the times, old man.
There's even that's very Star Wars as well, that little targeting effect.
Mm.
They at least they were being quite open about their rip-off. Oh fuck! It's
Star Wars will return in For Your Eyes Only.
It's going to take out Paraguay.
Q appears behind. Q appears behind him. Use the Force, Bond.
That's what I mean. Bond. Q is the Obi-Wan Kenobi of this film.
He is.
Mm.
And that meteorite destroyed Paraguay.
That feels so phoned in, just to like, don't worry, kids, we didn't kill the guy you like.
He's still alive, and he might be in the next film.
There's slimy old.
He won't be.
There's slimy old Tory fucker there in one of the seats. Well, I still think the Drax was okay. I mean, what if he was sending love gas into this from space? You didn't think of that, did you? I think he's a beautiful man, and I want to touch him. There, I said it.
You can arrest me all you want, torture me if you like, pull on my nipples, but you will never get me to deny my love.
Look how happy he is, slimy Tory prick. And now we get to watch Bond have sex again.
Have we confirmed, Chief, that we're broadcasting this on every major television set in the entire universe? Yes, sir. Right, patch it through.
I think it's worth it for Q's line there.
At which point the slide trombone kicks in, and then the bawdy sailors from the last film come back. Nobody does it better.
Just like the Moonraker knows. But I think Bond must have a fetish at this point. This is the second film in a row he's done this. I like it when people watch, okay? It's my thing. Don't kink shame me.
Don't kink shame me.
We said it at the same time.
Oh!
Go us. And with that,
in stereo.
A Franco-British co-production. General Franco made the film. Who knew?
Oh, shit.
And
I wonder why all that fascism was in the film.
I like that. On location in Italy, USA, France, Belgium, and outer space.
Woo! Yeah, implying they actually... we're going to sue them. Ben, we're going to sue them. They didn't go to outer space, Ben. I want my money back.
Space consultant Eric Burgess. Wonder what that involves. Well, in space, right? It's
so as you can see,
it's really black and really big.
It's all around us.
It's really big and really black, and there's like planets and stuff. Thank you, space consultant.
Believe it or not,
Here's your fee.
you're in space right now.
Thank you, space consultant. Here's your fee. Roger Moore's Hair by Mike Jones.
I'm digging this disco version of the Moonraker theme.
Yeah, it's one more chance to do a We Are One joke, I guess.
Yes, I suppose so.
Emily Bolton as Manuela. Alfie Bass as consumptive Italian.
Funambulists.
So now we have a name. At least we have a name now for the booze hound. He's called consumptive Italian. Drax's girl, Drax's girl, Drax's girl, Drax's girl, Drax's girl, Drax's girl, Drax's girl. A lot of Drax's girls. Let's give them names.
Drax was very lucky with the ladies. What can we say?
Filmed in Space-O-Vision.
But Ben, I need to know right now. What is the next film on our list? Will there be a coming soon card?
Yeah. Film's not over yet, man. There's another half an hour to go.
We've still got time.
End credit scene.
Is there going to be a post-credit sequence?
Thank you.
That's basically Blue Lagoon, but with Jaws and Dolly.
Special thanks to Bollinger Champagne. Special thanks to 7-Up, of course.
Yeah!
Thank you for the money. We all got pissed on it.
The drink. James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only.
They should have had little brackets this time. And then you get that wasn't in the original film, yeah, it's a little restoration thing. And then the lion, and then that's how you know it's finished.
One raw this time, not two.
They always have, they only do one. They only do one raw at the end. Oh no, it's starting again.
Moonraker. We're not starting
I thought
again.
you were just...
We've watched Moonraker now.
Let's just say the exact same things we said, beat for beat, in each bit.
Yeah. But this time with a slightly Italian accent for added effect.
Yeah, Moonraker.
Moonraker. Yeah. What a film!
It is. It's great.
Ben, what did you?
I love it.
What did you think of Moonraker?
I love it. It gets used so often as a stick to sort of beat the Roger Moore era with, when it's like, oh, this is, and people always cite it when they say like, oh, this is how crazy and daft, and you know, I'm not denying it's not crazy and daft, but at the same time, it's bloody entertaining, and you know what? That's all you can ask for a Bond film. Just entertain you for 2 hours, you know? And Moonraker does that for most of the time. When it's not scenes of Bond just pissing about in the back of warehouses and opening safes. When it gets to the good stuff, then you know it's good. But yeah, I like Moonraker. It's just such a weird little mixed bag of goodness. You never know what you're gonna get. It's something.
Every second, something different could pop up.
Every scene, it just throws something new and bigger and crazier at you. Which I guess as a preview for the next one, I will say they do dial it back a little. So don't expect Bond to be fighting.
Oh.
Don't expect Bond to be fighting Godzilla in Atlantis adventures. They don't go higher than this, but I mean,
rubbish now.
Well, it did what it set out to do, which was exploit the Star Wars fan, which it did quite a bit.
No, I would agree with you. I think that this is an enjoyable film. I think it's maybe a little bit of a step down from The Spy Who Loved Me, which I would so far say is my favourite Bond film that I've seen so far. But I think it's enjoyable. I think it, like you say, it does everything that it needed to set out to do. I don't understand why somebody would particularly dislike this film.
Well, I just think people
I think it's got some really nice visuals.
It's because people sort of compare it to, like, if you compare it to the early sort of Sean Connery ones where it's all espionage and sort of spy thriller, and even if you compare it to the newer ones, the Daniel Craig ones, it's obviously going to look silly and stupid, but you know what? It's like I was saying earlier. If you're going to do silly and stupid, just go for it. Just make the biggest, daftest cartoon you can. And I bet, imagine being a little boy in 1979. I mean, if you were a little boy in 1979, you'd probably just go and watch Caligula. So this isn't really addressed to you. But imagine being a little boy in 1979 who actually liked good things and going to watch Bond, and you'd be you'd be brilliant and just on the edge of your seat.
Oh yeah, absolutely agreed.
What do you?
I think
What do you?
technically
You give
it's
it
really
a
sound.
thumbs up or thumb down, Gene?
It's getting a thumbs up from me, Roger. I think that this is a great movie that I think people really need to go and see, and I think it'll change the way that people enjoy the cinema-going experience for the next 4 or 5 generations.
Thank you, Gene. By the way, I hate you.
Me too, you big nonce.
Say bye to everyone. It's like
No, we've got to do ratings. We can't say bye.
look, it's like when you leaving a relatives. It's like when you go to Grand's as your kid. Say bye, wave goodbye. Going now.
No, you've got to give it a rating out of 10 before we can say bye.
All right then. Slap me a big old 9, a 9 iron.
A 9?
9 iron on that butte. I don't really know how that compares to the others. I don't remember the ratings. I don't write them down or anything.
We have the Board of Bond at the end of the episode. We keep a ranking
5.
of.
5.
Okay, 9. That's
Yeah.
good score.
A 5 bagger from me, definitely.
I think I'm probably going to go a bit less than that. I think. Or do I be mean, or do I give the? I think it's going to be. I think I'm going to give it a high 7. I think it's a good high 7, possibly an 8 if I was in a really good day. But right here, right now,
A high 7, man.
It's just below an 8 for me.
A high 7, man.
High 7, like the drink
wait.
that was featured throughout the film, 7 Up.
Oh, just as that spark entered my brain, you had to say it. Yeah, you gay dickhead. Beat me to it. Damn. I thought,
And I do it again.
oh, this is clever. He said 7. Right, 7 up, go. And then, no.
Oh, we are so great. Well,
I actually have.
thank you everybody for joining us.
I have Sprite in my fridge. It's not 7 up, but it's almost 7 up. Go drink that now.
Get your communist drinks out of our Bond films.
Get your filthy, disgusting
We're a
Sprite.
7 Up household here.
Sprite, what are you, a Nazi? Get out of here. We only drink
So
7
thank
up.
you everybody
Full fat 7 up, not that shitty diet
for
one.
joining us on the Moonraker comedy dining experience. We have been your hosts, Dan and Ben, and join us next time when we'll probably be doing our Halloween special. Maybe. So till next time, Ben, leave the audience with something to remember us by.
Drink 7 up. Do it. That was my subliminal message. It was very subtle. It would have gone over most of your heads.
I really want a Sprite. Take care.